the context of this movement is taking the same time overhand side plane cap and moving it into split time. So what that means is one hand is going to do anti-spin while the other hand is doing in-spin, right? And what that means is one hand is starting at the top while the other one's starting at the bottom. So you know the requisite motion, right? It's the same thing, out and up and down, right? Out, up, down, just like you know. And that's true with both hands. What changes is when you do them. So for this one, let's start with the right on top and the left on bottom. What that means is the right hand will do in-spin, like I just did. Do it with me. Yeah, do the in-spin with me, come down. And then the left hand will do the anti-spin, except they'll happen at the same time. And then the right hand will do the anti-spin, and the left will do the in-spin. Right. So if you did them at the same time, what would happen is it would look like that, just going one way, or that. The hand that's going up is going to do the anti-spin part, while the hand that's coming down does the in-spin part. So now my right is on bottom, out and up, while I do a single rotation with the other hand. Now the right is on the top, so the left goes out and up. So if the right is up and the left is down, the right one does in-spin, while the left one comes out and up. Then the left one does the in-spin down, while the right one goes out and up. And then the right one comes down in the in-spin and the left goes out and up. And then the right does the anti-spin up and the left comes in-spin down. And then the left does the anti-spin. And then the right does the anti-spin. And then the left does the anti-spin. And then the right does the anti-spin. And then the left does the anti-spin. And the right does the anti-spin. Then the left does the anti-spin. All right, let's start with the left on top, right on bottom. Still in split time. So the right does the anti-spin up. Then the left does the anti-spin up. Then the right does the anti-spin up. Then the left. Then the right. Then the left. Then the right. Yes. Then the left. Then the right. Then the left. Then the right. Then the left, then the right, then the left, then the right, then the left, then the right, then the left, and the right. Let's call this the resting position, either with the left arm on top like this, or the right arm on top like this. Either way, you're doing the hard part, then resting. The hard part, then resting. The hard part, then resting. What you ultimately want to do is get rid of these extra beats in between. So we should pick one of them, and either start with the left on top or the right on top, where you just try and do a full cycle back to there and rest right where you started. Full cycle, rest 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 where you started. And if it doesn't work so well with the left on top, you could try it with the right on top. That might be easier. There's no, it's very personal, where you go down and up with the right one and go up and down with the left one. Go down and up with the right one and up and down with the left one. Down and up and up and down. Boosh, boosh. Boosh, boosh. There's multiple ways to try and get into it. Another way to try and get into it is, let's say, start by having your left hand going. Your right hand's not doing anything. Your left hand's doing it. And then, when your left hand is on top, start your right hand from the bottom in the anti-spin and just try and do that. And even if you're doing the left and you just still try and do one cycle back to here. Right, so the left is going, and when the left gets to the top, right one kicks in. Because you're now actually technically doing polyrhythmic at the point where this one's doing the in-spin. It's doing half a rotation, while this one, it is polyrhythmic because this one's going slower and this one's going faster. So it is that sort of thing, right? So boom, when the left one gets to here, right? So if you start here, right? And if you do that, when the left one's down here, then the right one would come over the top I mean, no matter how you slice it, you are trying to get the two hands to rub your head, pat your belly, then pat your head, rub your belly, and constantly be switching between those two things. So another way to do it is to do the individual pieces consecutively like this, like we started out with. So if you, let's say we're always going to lead with the left hand. So left hand comes down and in-spin, right hand goes up and anti-spin, left hand goes up and anti-spin, right hand comes down and in-spin. So let's do that. Left is on top, right is on bottom. Left comes down, right goes up, right comes down, left comes down, right goes up, right comes down, left comes down, right goes up, right comes down, right? So we're just doing them as quickly as we can. We just do the two pieces consecutively, as trying to remove as many extra circles as possible. That's how I ended up getting it, was I removed the extra pieces, and then I accidentally ended up doing the two of them at once. And once you feel it once, it's a little easier to have a sense of what you're supposed to do, if that makes sense. Yeah. All right, let's do it right one up so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so left one up, right one down. Left one down, right one up. Left one up and anti-spin, right one down and in-spin. Left one down and in-spin, right one up and anti-spin. Left one up and anti-spin, right one down and in-spin. Left one down and in-spin, right one up and anti-spin. So the hybrid that we previously did, where we did the together time with the extension. Yeah. This, what I just did was a split time version of that, where my one arm did the extension and then went back into the anti-spin cap when it hit the bottom.